I got out of the Tenderloin.
Out of the Tenderloin.
Out of the Tenderloin.
Just gave up a 90-day bed, and God has really blessed me. I'm in a normal house now.
A normal house.
I can cook a meal, and I cooked my first meal 3 days ago.
And what was it?
Huh?
What was it?
Spaghetti dinner.
Spaghetti, all right.
With garlic bread and salad on the side.
Wow.
And I had a really good salad with everything in it.
So how did you get out of the Tenderloin? Tell us about that.
Well, I knew my moving was coming up, and I met a musician that actually has a couple gold records out, and well, gold records from a while back, and he wound up turning into a producer.
And he met Jerry, and they kicked it off and became good friends and started playing guitar together.
And he and I got along real well. He's a musician, I'm a musician, so
Right.
I'm trying to get him to do some recording for me.
All right.
And he had a room. He was offered to let me rent from him.
He said, honey, we got a house we're moving in.
It's out of the Tenderloin. It's in a good area near Daly City.
Okay. So you're way out there now.
Yeah.
Almost out of San Francisco,
Well, it's
sort
in
of.
Glen Park, actually.
Glen Park, okay.
So it's very different compared to the Tenderloin.
Yeah.
You got, I look out my front door. I can see over the highway, and I see the horizon where there's nothing but residential areas.
Right.
And it's really, really nice. 'Cause
Has
I can
it
see over Highway 280.
Has it changed your perception of San Francisco at all?
Definitely,
Has it?
definitely, yes.
Has it?
It's not fair to judge San Francisco by the Tenderloin.
Right.
It's very unfair.
I wondered about that because if you come here from Texas, land in the Tenderloin.
It was a cultural shock, and then when I get to Glen Park and all these nice areas, I'm like, well, this is what I more what I expected. It's still different from Dallas,
Sure.
but it's only because the houses they damn near touch each other.
Right. It's much denser, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
The houses are built real close to each other, and there's no real front and back yards. You don't see people walking around mowing their yard with a great big yard. We still have a nice little yard, and we got nice plants, and believe it or not, I got skunks and raccoons that come to the back door, and I feed them out of my hand.
Oh my gosh, I wish I could show you a picture. But I have real skunks that eat out of my hand.
You have skunks that eat out of your hand.
Yes.
Wow.
And raccoons.
Oh, raccoons! Wow.
And raccoons that eat out of Jerry's hand.
Not supposed to.
I don't
do
know
it.
about skunks.
They don't spray.
They don't spray. I guess if
they-
you're feeding them, there's no reason for them to.
And the raccoons, I've named them. I got Igor, I got Rocky Raccoon, which I named from the Beatles song. Then I got one I call Nippers, because he
Nippers.
nipped my pinky. And
Oh.
they're strong.
Oh yeah.
And I could tell it was like a love nip. And then that wasn't what made me name him Nippers. I was feeding him again, and he nipped my thumb. And this time he put just a little more pressure just to show me that he could have, but he wouldn't.
Wow.
So I said, okay. Then I called him Nippers. I said, all right, Nippers, no more for you. And he stood up on his hind legs and put a piece of kibble in his mouth and smiled for me.
Oh wow.
And it was really cool. He started doing tricks for me. So these raccoons
Doing
are actually
tricks.
doing tricks, yeah.
Hey, maybe you could incorporate them into your show. You could have.
I'm very tempted to do a video. Now, we did a video of the skunks, and you can pull it up on YouTube too.
Oh, did you? Okay.
You just pull up Skunky and Rat Tail.
Okay.
Now, these are a couple of the skunks. I've
there's-
never been sprayed. My roommate has been sprayed.
Has he?
So
So I hear that's really hard to get rid of that smell
the
once you're
tomato
sprayed.
juice bath is not a myth. It really is about one of the
Does
few
it
things
work?
that works.
Yeah.
Talk about an expensive bath. I have never had to do it. They never spray me. If you can extend your hand. I take their kibble. We feed them kibbles, cat food.
Right.
And we take that cat food, and then I give them hot baths because they take baths. They'll get in there and take baths.
Really?
Little raccoons
You give
take
the
baths.
raccoons hot baths.
Well, they give themselves a bath, but we put the hot water out for them.
Really?
I'll watch them, and they'll get in there and bathe themselves.
Do you give them like bubble baths too?
No, we're not doing all that. But we do brush them.
Do you really?
Yeah, we brush the
Holy
raccoon.
cow. These
and,
guys are like
comb the
pets.
skunks. Yeah, they really are. It's crazy. And we're not supposed to do it, but it is what it is.
Wow.
They're hungry, man. They
Well,
got to
that's-
eat. And it keeps them from tearing a lot of people's trash up.
Yeah.
Raccoons will do that.
Yes, they will.
And
Yeah.
skunks will too, to a degree.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's very different than the Tenderloin. I can't imagine that
Indeed.
happening
You're
in the
not going to see
Tenderloin.
skunks and raccoons in the Tenderloin.
No.
I'm really glad to be out of
Are you?
Tenderloin, yeah, to say the least.
Yeah.
I'm doing, I feel much better. Everybody says they see a ton of stress off of me whenever they see me.
Me and my husband are back together after being 86 and after me being in a shelter for the last, it's been almost a year.
Almost a year. Okay.
Because I got 86 from his hotel
Right.
for an argument from a lady that used to work at the next door.
So you've been apart for almost a year, and now you're back together.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't say apart, but, well, yeah, we have been apart because I was only seeing him like once a week, so it was awful. We couldn't,
Yeah.
you know, when you're
Yeah.
married and been with somebody 30 years and
Yeah.
used to waking up with them every day, and you get that taken away from you, it really, it put a strain on our marriage,
Yeah.
like no tomorrow.
So you're on your way to being a success story, getting out of homelessness.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it does happen.
It does happen. You just
Yeah.
gotta pray and work with God and walk in the light and stay away from people that are thuggish and no good. And I'm in a house and I got a washer and dryer.
A washer and
I
dryer.
can do my own clothes, my
Wow.
own laundry. I get to fold my clothes. And
So you're
cook and
feeling
clean.
civilized again.
And I have a garden out back. I
You have
told
a
you
garden?
about that.
No, you have a garden?
Yes, I have a garden. We
What do you-
grow
what do you
peas
grow?
and pickles,
Pea?
okra,
Pickles, cucumbers.
cucumbers,
You mean. Yeah.
tomatoes.
Tomatoes. Tomatoes are.
And the peas are coming out so good. We just picked a whole bunch yesterday. We have a lemon tree next door, and the lemons are awesome.
Are they?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
go pick Bob's lemons, and he tells us we can do it.
You make
Bob is
you
like
make-
a 29-year-old guy that owns a beautiful house right next door.
Do you think this is? What do you think you are in terms of like percentage? Is this extremely rare that this happened? Do you think, or does this happen very often that people get out of it?
Your
25%.
let me say your balls to the wall and try.
Mm-hmm.
To try to work your way out of it, you can, but
Yeah.
you really got to work your way out of it. Put your balls to the wall and keep trying. Even if you fail, like it's riding a horse, if you fall off, get back on and ride.
So persistence. You attribute this to persistence. And,
Amen.
Yeah. Okay.
You have to be persistent and stay on top of it. Just like you would if you had a habit and you had to go take care of your habit every day. Or, you know, just... I don't know how to describe it, but you just got to stay on it.
Yeah.
And if you fail the first or second times, and you got to have patience. A lot of patience. But in the meantime, you meet a lot of good people, a lot of great people. I've met a lot of good friends, and even though I'm in Glen Park, I miss my friends a lot. And something else good has happened, I want to say. I met Bevelin Dufty. He is over all the housing, but he has something to do with the mayor. He's like an assistant to the mayor to help people. And I went in to get my ID, and with all my documents, they wouldn't make my ID because you have to have a state ID to have a city ID made. But I got robbed, but I still had all these documents for them to make my ID. It's just a city ID for $5. And they wouldn't make it for me, and I was losing my shelter bed. And when I was leaving City Hall, I was crying and got lost in the building.
Yeah.
And Mr. Dufty seen me, and he had the sheriff stop me. He said, they've done that to a lot of people, and that's why I got a lot of homeless people out here on the streets, because they can't even get in these hotels because you have to have a picture ID to get in these hotels. And they started making these $5 IDs here because the DMV was so full and you couldn't get in the DMV for a couple of months, you know?
Yeah.
And you had to make an appointment like a month down the road.
Yeah, DMV is not known as being a fast place.
Well, guess what? I don't know how he did it. I guess he's a magician. He said, give me 48 hours and you'll have your ID. And guess what? In 48 hours, Dena had a 2 o'clock appointment on Friday at the DMV to get her ID at Elwood City Hall. And he said he's going to do something to change that down there.
So what's next for you? You're in Glen Park?
I'm in Glen Park, I'm in the house, but what's next for me is, I think, Beverly Dufty, and I'm already at the top of the housing list. I will no longer be homeless.
Cool.
And this homeless stuff is over with. But more than anything, the TL, it's bye-bye TL. When we come to, I'm on a clinic, I'm on methadone, not because of heroin use, because, no, that's the truth. And,
I'm not laughing at you.
and leukemia, I've got leukemia, lymphoma, and I take methadone for pain. And when I come to the clinic every day, and when we go back home, Mike says, Dena, look back and say bye-bye to you. I'm glad to say I am a success story.
All right.
And I'm going to stay a success story.
Are you? Okay.
I'm not falling off that horse, but if I ever do, I'm going to get back on and ride.
We'll be checking on you to see if that's true. I don't want to like come back and see you down here on the street somewhere, you know.
You won't.
Okay. When we talk, I remember when we visited your room, you had all your music equipment stuffed in the closet, and it got all water damaged, right? So,
Right.
Did you ever rescue it? Is it still working?
Well, I pretty much gave all that equipment up.
Oh, did you?
Because of the damage, and I wound up moving in a Mercedes, and I wasn't going to I wasn't going to ask this guy to let me tie his trunk down, and on top of all this music equipment that was damaged and waterlogged anyway.
So you have no instruments to play now? Is that true?
Well, I still have 2 guitars.
2 guitars.
Yeah.
Electric or acoustic?
I play acoustic. So,
acoustic. Okay.
Yeah, I've got a classical Yamaha.
Okay.
And I got a well, they're both Yamahas. I got a classic Yamaha, and then a gold plated, the Yamaha acoustic with the gold plated keys.
I see. Okay.
And my friend Mike is a left-handed guitar player. He played with quite a few bands. Like I said, he's got some really good music, and he got 2 gold albums. So.
Okay, well maybe we'll be seeing you on the marquee somewhere.
It would be nice if I get. He told me if he produced one of my albums, that he almost promised it to go. He practically promised gold hit material.
Really? Has he heard you play? Have you played?
Yeah,
anything
he's
for
heard
him?
me play, and he said he gives me a lot of what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know. Tips or something?
Good criticism.
Okay. Constructive criticism?
Constructive criticism. And he tells me, what sounds I need to tighten up on, how to tighten up on my guitar playing, and then he'll mix my vocals to where they'll sound the best they can, because I've damaged my vocals smoking cigarettes so bad that I can't hit high notes like I used to.
Right.
So he got the equipment and the skills in the ear to make me sound the best I can sound.
So things are looking up.
Things are looking up totally.
Okay. Okay.
And from doing these little video clips, I've been in touch with just about every one of my kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And,
So
and they see them, and they watch them, they follow them, and
that's interesting.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So
And Sandra, hello. I want to say hello to all my kids.
Okay, but keep it short.
And I want to tell Jacob there is hope here. Your mom's in a house, and she's happy. And I'll send you pictures. I've already sent Sandra pictures of the raccoons and the skunks and the. I haven't heard from Hannah or Jeremy. And Jeremy, Hannah, I would like to hear from y'all.
Okay.
All my kids, my baby girl that's 18, I want to hear from her. God knows I do. Jennifer.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm just. And Justin, hi Justin Bear. Love my Justin Bear.
All right. Well, anything else you want to say before we wrap it up? That was. I congratulate you on getting out of the Tenderloin.
Man, it's wonderful. It's
I
great.
think we'll maybe we'll title this episode "Escape from the Tenderloin" or
there
something
we go.
like that.
Sounds good. Escape from the Tenderloin, and there is life beyond the Tenderloin.
There's life beyond the Tenderloin. Yes,
Life beyond the Tenderloin.
Those are all good titles. Maybe I can work those in there somehow. Yeah.